send it to.
I will. I'll send it to you too. Yes. So thank you all for coming along. And I'm going to just basically go through the TM7. I know I sent you a video about it, but as I said before, sometimes it's easier to actually see when someone is sort of demonstrating and going through it with you. So we'll go through that. I have also got the cutter here, if anybody wants to have a look at that. It is a host reward for this coming month till the 28th. And I've got a couple of the other host rewards for you to have a look at too. So, all right, but let's start with this. Now, I just wondered, in one of the videos, I talked about being able to change your home screen. Has anyone changed their home screen, or have you all got this sort of scenario where I've got a bit of what I'm planning to cook and a few little useful tools at the side?
I've got mine as it started off. I haven't changed it.
Okay, well, let's just show you how you can do that. So you have a choice of 3. So you have to scroll to the bottom of the home screen and you go edit home screen. All right, then you can have I like daily inspiration. It will come up with ideas for you. You can have what I've got. I like organizing myself, which is very true. And this is, I like having tools handy. So for someone like you, Rita, and it may be, I don't know, but, possibly that might be quite good for you. We'll just go next, because just because you're used to the TM31, possibly, but, so you can, on this screen, you've got, I hope you can see that okay. You've got a lot of the different modes, which we will go through on a different screen in a minute. All right. So if I go done, yeah, that's all there. But however, I'm going to go back because I like to know what I've got there, but I like my little bits information as well.
Oh, you can highlight a couple of those, can you? I thought you had to choose.
You have to choose one. Yeah, you have to choose one, but you can change it at any time.
Okay. And I noticed that yours says spice up your day, Mandy. Mine says excellent something.
Yeah, it changes. It changes.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Okay. All right. So on here, I've got a couple of things that I'm going to do in the next couple of days. We've got our son coming over from America, and he loves these without the nuts in. So I'm going to make some of those, and the mushroom ragu with zoodles, which is awesome. And if you're looking for things that are healthy with lots of vegetables and things, it is a really good one. Okay, so we've got that. Then we've got some other things, other ideas and things, actually things that I've made, bookmarks and things. Then we can go here. And once you're hooked up to the internet and you've got your cookie dough, then you can start searching in here. However, I find it much, much easier to search on my app or on the computer. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I will show you cookie dough on the laptop in a minute. Then we've got this screen here. We've got recently cooked. So we had porridge this morning. This porridge is seriously delicious. I'll just show you. It's super, super easy to make. It takes 4 minutes. And it's actually a really healthy one. So it's got rolled oats, which you just literally blitz for a few seconds. Then you add cinnamon, goji berries. I don't have shredded. I've got shaved coconut, pepitas, and my chia seeds are black. Milk, I make almond milk without hot water. And basically, after you've blitzed your oats for 10 seconds, you put all the rest of it in it and leave it for 4 minutes and it's cooked. And it's really yummy. With these recipes, it always gives you tips at the bottom, okay? You can make this porridge using a mix of dried fruits, nuts, whatever, so you can make it your own. You can add your own notes in here just by here adding a note. And you also, at the bottom, will tell you where it's from. Oh, there they are. A nutritional content, okay? So that is 224 calories. And it gives you carbs and all that sort of stuff as well. So it's cookie dough has an awful lot to offer.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I make the porridge the old-fashioned way, so I use the normal rolled oats, not the quick oats.
Yeah, this is rolled oats. They're not quick oats.
Oh, okay. And it only takes 4 minutes. Mine takes forever on the stove. Yeah.
It's because it's blitzed.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go back. Oh, no, this one page here. Oh, I want to get back out of there. All right. So that's my recently cooked delicious cauliflower and leek mash. Meatballs and chili cheese potatoes, they're really good. Summer fruit crumble. A soup that someone recommended to me, I wouldn't rave about it, but I gave it a try. The tuna dip, I don't know if anybody's ever made the tuna dip, but the tuna dip, what we do, instead of having normal, sort of normal tuna, as in unflavored tuna, put chili tuna in, and it's really comes up really well. So there's a few of the things that I've been making. Then you can have bookmarks. And these are my bookmarks. So, Jane, I think you said you were going to make lemon curd.
Yep, yep.
It is a bookmark. So I used to belong to the CWA in Melbourne, and I was their lemon curd maker because it's so good and so quick and so easy. You just throw everything in, 8 minutes later, you've got lemon curd. Amazing. I've got a rice recipe. There is the rice cooker mode, and this uses it, but I find it useful to have this just as a guide because I don't actually cook a lot of rice. We normally have cauliflower rice, but I've got it there. That is an absolutely delicious salad and coleslaws and things like that. There's my porridge there as well.
Can I ask you a question about the lemon curd?
Yes.
Is it an over sugary one, or is it a nice not too
It has
sugary?
sugar in it, but it has quite a lot of sugar in it. But I think all lemon curds will have a lot of sugar in them. But it's not too sweet with the balance with the lemon is really good. I know what my brother-in-law had some, and he loved his, and we were going, no, this is much better because had a bit more lemony. So
Yeah, I like it more lemony. Okay,
yeah,
because I thought that there was a lot of recipes on lemon curd, but it just says lemon curd. So I
yeah.
remember looking at Thermomix, I don't know, it might have been a year or two, and there was quite a few different lemon curd recipes.
Right. There may also be, so as well as Cookie Do, there is the Thermomix recipe community.
Right.
And if you go in there, you can actually import recipes from there into your TM7. That's for another day, all right? But
Yeah.
too much to get through. And I do have YouTube videos on that already, but I'm happy to do that again if anybody wants to see that. All right. So but the other thing I will just quickly show you whilst we're on here, having said we wouldn't spend too much time on here. You can see here there are two serving sizes. So I can go, right, I want to make a smaller amount or I want to make a big batch.
Oh,
And with the big batch, you can see my lemon juice has now gone from 300 grams, sorry, from 150 to 300. If I go back, you'll see it's 150 and there it's 300. So if you decide you want to make a big batch of lemon curd, what you need to do is change that on your app when you're selecting your recipe and save it as that. So then it will all come up at the correct amounts for you. Okay. Then I've got, yeah, my recipe lists. So these are recipe lists that I put together. There are basics. Jane and I were talking a bit before about, a few things. I don't think I've got many sauces in there, but I've got the tomato ketchup, which is fantastic. If you've never made the vegetable stock paste, it's well worth making. Much cheaper than buying stock in the supermarket, and you can use up this one says no waste. Basically, when I make vegetable stock paste, the color depends on what vegetables I've got in the fridge that need using up. So and if they're looking a little bit sad, you can always chop them, stick them in the freezer, and then pull them all out, defrost them, and make your stock. Okay. So yes, there's nut butters, rice again, all that sort of stuff. And if I go back here, I've got things, these are just TM7 only recipes. And they are TM7 only recipes because they use open lid cooking. So with the TM7, you can cook without the lid on, and you can take the lid off and have a look up to speed 2. All right, but these actually don't have the blades turning whilst they're going, and they're usually pasta or rice dishes. If you like fish, this is really delicious. The creamy Cambodian style fish curry. Really recommend that one. We've had that quite a few times. And then I've got basics. I've got bliss balls, meals, 30-minute meals. I haven't made this one yet, the high protein Big Mac style burger, but a lot of people have been raving about that. The lemon and parmesan chicken is delicious. So many really delicious meals. All right. And then I've got a whole lot more. I've got heaps because obviously I've got a lot of people and have to show it to. But I've got, Christmas veggies, curry basics. So that's something, Jane, you might want to have a bit of, if you like curry or anybody likes curry, like your tandoori paste takes 20 seconds to make. And even when I was living right opposite Chadstone Shopping Centre, it was quicker for me to make my own curry powder than it was to go and buy it. So, there's some really good ideas there. All right. Then we've got collections. Oh, sorry, hang on, that's me. Collections. And these are whole collections of recipes that I have saved from Cookie Dough, and I'll show you how to do that. But we've got cooking with high heat, so which we've got available on here. The cafe style muffins are good. A whole lot of different things. Actually, there were a couple of things I was gonna show you guys. Got some low carb ones for anybody who's looking at doing any of that sort of stuff. Marinades. That cake there is absolutely delicious. Lemon curd. Second bowl, some things you can do with the second bowl. And I was going to show you this one. So the Nesta. I'll quickly show you the Nesta. I'm sort of going a little bit off track, but hopefully you're learning something as we're going along. So the Nesta is something that you can buy, which actually sits in your varoma, and it's used for we'll show you. Have a look at these recipes. So it's used for poaching eggs. I found it really good for poaching eggs. Does a really good job. And you can use it to make, their little tartlets there, bao buns, savory pancakes, pandan custard. I don't know how you pronounce all the other things, but there are all sorts of just interesting things you can do. And that's because it's silicone, as well as being steamed, it will go in the oven. So you can make little muffins and things in there as well. Anyway, that's something to think about. And the other things I was going to show you were, where are we? Can't think. Oh yeah. So with the cutter, which I will show a little bit later, we've got spiralizing recipes. There was another one I wanted to show, but I can't see it. Oh, let's look at this one. Stock your staples. Some of these were really good in COVID. Come on, where are you? Here we go. Now, it says garlic paste there. Don't ever bother making garlic paste, all right? So if you need garlic paste, like if you make the tandoori paste, it'll say a certain number of grams of garlic paste. Don't. It's total waste of time. Just put whole garlic cloves into the same weight, and the same with ginger. Okay. But anyway, there's some basic things in there. See, it's got the ginger as well. Roasted garlic, that wouldn't be bad. Okay, I've forgotten what the other one was, but we'll come back to it. So it was something to do with the cutter. Oh, here we go. This is fun. Slicing and grating. So this is actually using the Thermomix cutter. I'm just showing you all the different types of things that you can make in it, using it anyway. So I use it a lot in summer for poke bowls, and in winter it's more vegetable bakes. Anyway, let's get out of there. Creative recipes. So you can add your own recipes to Cookie Dough. I don't know, Anita and Jane, you both had TM6s. Did you either of you add any creative recipes?
Do you mean like I imported them from?
Yeah, from Cookie Dough, from the recipe community. Yeah.
Yeah, but I found it just a little bit tricky because you have to edit them somehow because
you do. Yeah.
Always had time.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's quite nice. There are a couple of things here. I've had my hairdresser told me about these bliss balls, which I just love, and they've got ginger in them and everything. And this was Never Will Remember Marley.
Oh yeah,
Marley's birthday cake.
fantastic.
Anyway, yeah. So you can do that, and again, that's for another day. But I'm happy to go through that with you guys. Right. Next screen coming down the side here, and this is all our modes. So Rita, manual mode, you would be very familiar with from the TM31. But with this, if you want to weigh, you have to take your lid off. It'll tell me in a minute. No, tell me. Okay. So I had to take my lid off, and then I can weigh things in. All right. And then if I actually want to use the anything manually, I cross out of there, And in here, I can go right, I mean, you'll know that, it's 5 seconds speed 7 for a garlic clove or something. So I'd go in here, I'd go 5, I'd go in here, I'd go 8, and I'd probably just turn it down and then just press go. So it's a really easy thing to manage. What you'll find with all these screens, of all the modes, it's got show tips up here. And when you click on there, I don't know what it says for this, but I know what it says for some of the others. We'll see what it comes up with. Sorry, internet's a little slow. Tips are currently unavailable. Okay, all right. We won't try it for that one. We'll try it for something else. So the pre-clean. Love the pre-clean. I do it. So I would usually use universal. Just put the water in, just put the lid on. I don't use any dishwashing. If you do use dishwashing liquid, you just want literally a drop because it will foam up. I just put it on universal and just press go. And I leave it, do its thing, come back, rinse it out, and usually it's pretty good. If you've been using high heat, then you would do the browning clean. Okay, and let's see if this shows the tips or not. Yes, okay. So this is preparation. It's telling you, so there's so much information on the screens. It's amazing how much is actually in there. So this is telling you, yeah, put your water in, add your dishwashing or your vinegar. So if you are using the browning mode, you use white vinegar, not dishwashing. Okay, as I said, I still just use water. Pre-select your option, and then they've got tips over here. So there's 2 tabs here. And on the tips tab, pre-clean mode explained, it tells you which type of clean to use for whatever you've been making. Okay.
Mandy, where is this again?
Sorry?
Mandy, where is this again? Where did you find this?
Okay, all right. So if I'm in pre-clean, so hang on. So we're down the side here. We're on the one that says it's got the blades, little symbol. It's got the blades, and that gives us our modes. All right. So I'll just go into a different one. Okay, we'll go into dough mode. It's still the same thing. You usually you need for 2 minutes, and you don't put any speed. You literally put your 2 minutes in here, and then you just press go like that. Okay, but up here on the top right-hand side, it says show tips. So we're going to the tips. It's got preparation, and then it's got tips.
Okay.
All right. So, and that is available in all those modes. So if we go to browning, which is your high heat. So this has, in the TM6, you just had one lot of high heat. With this, you've got gentle or intense. And intense is more stir-fry, and gentle is more browning your onions, like you would on the stovetop.
Wow.
Okay. But a lot of these things, honestly, I rarely use this by itself. It comes up in a recipe. But again, we've got the tips up the top right-hand side. It says we've got the preparation for the gentle option, 20 grams of oil and ingredients. So you do need to, when you're doing this, and TM6 owners will probably remember this, that if you're using high heat and you're cooking onions, that needs to be in wedges. All right. If it's tiny pieces, it probably won't start because they're too small and you're just going to burn them on the bottom of the bowl. And then we've got the tips here, browning mode explained. Yeah, so gentle is similar to a low flame, and this is similar, and the intense is similar to a high flame on the stovetop. All right, so we've got those, and we've got the steaming. So whereas on previous machines under manual, you had your steaming available, it's in a totally separate position here.
Yes.
Okay. So here, obviously, you're going to need to put your aroma on top. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And again, we've got tips up there. So we've got turbo. Anyone use turbo?
No.
I've used it for cleaning before, I think.
Yeah, okay. I love turbo. Neb, I'm disappointed in you.
Did I have it on mine?
Yes, you had it on yours down the bottom.
Okay.
Anyway, you had a little book and you had dough mode and you had turbo in there, I think.
Okay.
Turbo, I love turbo. So turbo is fantastic. You think if you make a dip or a cake mixture, and it's really difficult to scrape out the bottom of around the blades, right? You scrape out as much as you
That's right.
can. And when you are scraping, whilst we're doing this, you always push everything to the bottom first, and you go in a clockwise direction, because then you're hitting the rounded side of the blades, okay? And you bring it out this way. But dip or cake mixture, you're going to have stuff left around the blades. So that's when you use turbo. Centrifugal force spits it out onto the edge of the bowl. So you will get an extra muffin if you're making muffins out of what's around the blades. Okay, that's number one use. Number two use that I love it for is if I want a really dry bowl. Now, Nev's got a second bowl. I can't remember if anybody else bought a second bowl. You got a second? Yeah.
I do.
Yep. Okay. So second bowl, easy. You don't have to worry about it. All right. But if you are, if you made something that's that is wet, for want of a better word, or you've got to wash the bowl out and you need a seriously dry bowl for milling nuts, seeds, all those sorts of things, then what you do is you wash and you dry your bowl, then you turbo, because that will spit off any little bits that are left on the blades. It'll spit it out onto the edge of the bowl again, and you can dry it out. And if I want a super dry bowl, I do that twice, turbo twice.
Okay.
With this, with the TM7, the lid will automatically unlock, like it does with all the other modes. With the TM6, I think the TM5, you had to get out of turbo for the lid to unlock, but with this, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. All right.
So when you said with turbo, does it just do it automatically? You don't, or do
Yeah.
you set the time?
No, you don't set the time. So if I just put this on, put the lid on, I'm just going to go turbo. Oh, you can set the time if you want to. So you can say, right, I want it for 1 second or 2 seconds. 1 second is plenty. And you just hit that, and it's just going to whizzing up around there. And now I don't know if you saw that, but the lid was showing a little locked sign before, and then it became white. So yeah, so that's all you do. Super easy. Okay. Blend. Jane, have you been using this for your smoothie?
No, I use it for my soup though.
Oh,
But
for
you
your
use
soup.
it for the smoothie, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so you can come in here and you can change obviously the time. So if you smoothie, you might want I don't know if you do a couple of minutes or
Yeah,
whatever.
look, I usually do a 30 seconds when I've got the frozen berries and the ice in there.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, I put the whole lot in 30 seconds with on 10.
Yeah.
And that means the ice gets crushed up. And then after that, I do just cook it, not cook it, but I just blend it for 4.5.
Right.
Per
Okay.
minute.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yes. Okay. So yeah, so you can fiddle around with all this and do whatever you want. And again, we've got the tips up the top there. Okay.
Yep.
Egg boiler. Anyone use this? Did your TM6 owners, did you use it in your TM6?
No,
Oh
not
my
a
God.
eater.
This is a game changer.
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually am not fond of soft eggs. So mine's usually sitting on hard. But basically, your eggs go directly into the bottom of the bowl. They're not in the simmering basket. They are literally in the bowl. You cover them with water up to about the litre mark, and you select how you want them. So you do this, and there's nothing in there, so I'll stop it in a second, but I'll go, okay. Oh, it tells you how long, all right? It tells you how long it's going to be. And the reason it's cold water and it's cold eggs. So they're not going to do super quickly, but what I find is you can put them on, go and have a shower, come back, and they're good. Mind you, I don't take 20 minutes in the shower, just in case you're wondering. But you literally put that on, and particularly with hard-boiled eggs, you just walk away and you just leave it, and it'll tell you when they're done. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when you're hooked up to your cookie dough, like I actually set the clock on here so it didn't turn itself off, and I've got cookie dough. I've got the clock on there as well, and my grandson.
Oh, he's so beautiful. He's gorgeous. Can I just ask you, what about size of eggs?
That's a good question. Let's go and look in tips. Okay. It says 53 to 63 grams, but honestly, I don't even know. I just put them in and it's fine. And it says 2 to 6 eggs, but I have heard of people doing 12.
Right, okay.
So add cold water, choose your desired cooking, and then you can obviously drain them in your simmering basket. Tips. It tells you exactly which one to choose for however you like your eggs. All right, that's egg boiler, which is fantastic. Open lid cooking. Again, I would probably only use this, well, at this point in time, I've only used it in a recipe, but it will tell you like, as I said, pasta and rice dishes, when it needs a bit of evaporation, it will sometimes get you to use this. And again, we've got tips. Let's have a look. Preparation, prepare and add your ingredients, select a time and temperature, and tap start. And then with the tips, okay, enjoy the same freedom as in a traditional cooking. So what it means, you can put your pasta in and you can make sure it all goes down in and stuff like that. So there's a whole lot of stuff in there for you to read. Okay, kettle mode. I've only ever used this a couple of times because your water's going to boil much more quickly in your kettle. But I have used it when we were without a stove at one point, and I boiled the water in here. I put my blade cover peeler, which I'll talk about in a minute, in the bottom, and I cooked peas in it. So, but I haven't used it just to boil water. I would definitely go to your kettle. Warm up mode. So you can use this to reheat things. Soups are a really good one. And you don't set a time, you set a temperature. So you decide how hot you want your soup to be. You pop it in. Obviously, if it's a chunky soup, you would put it on reverse. Okay. And you can have speed stir, or you can have 1, or you can have 2. Well, if it's chunky, then you're probably going to just keep it there. If you don't have it on reverse, and it's a smooth soup, it's going to heat up more quickly on 2 than it is on 1 or stir. Okay. Rice cooker, again, I would just use that. I just use it in a recipe, which is why I saved that recipe there, but it does tell you here exactly what to do. So it says 29 minutes, but showing the tips. Thinking. Too many people on the internet here. No, it's not going to give it to me at the moment. But it will, in those tips, it will tell you the exact ratio. Yeah, currently, sorry about that. It will tell you the exact ratio of water to rice for that.
Can I just say, for someone who eats and cooks rice a lot,
Yes.
I still prefer it steamed in the varoma. So
Fair
I would,
enough.
like, sorry, in the basket.
In the simmering basket,
yeah, just because then it's not sitting in the water and things. It really just it's quite a different feel to the rice. But I mean, we do eat a lot of rice. So
that's great. No, that's good, and it's everyone to their own. And I think the important thing, and I don't know, when you're putting it in the simmering basket, do you rinse the rice as well?
Always, yeah. I mean, we would never cook rice unwashed, but would rinse it till it was clear, and then like I did tonight, steaming 2 lots of vegetables on top and things like that.
Good girl.
Yeah. I haven't actually tried. I mean, I'd be interested to see maybe different types of rice, because it does allow you to cook different grains. I think quinoa and things like
will. I'm sure it'll tell you that in the tips. I'm sorry, I can't quite access them, but you know where to find them anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thicken mode, that is used in your lemon curd, Jane. Again, we've got tips there, but it's also used bechamel sauce, hollandaise sauce, all those sorts of things. Slow cook. So I will just show you this. Okay. So the blade cover peeler is a bundle for this month. So you guys did really well last month, but this is the bundle for this month. And what I love about it, it is used for peeling, obviously. I wouldn't peel carrots in it because you're going to lose too much of the carrot, but small potatoes, round, like you could probably do turnips and those sorts of things in there. The other thing I do a lot in there is when garlic is cheap, I peel a whole lot of garlic. And all you do, this goes over the blades. Actually, it literally goes over the blades, and just got to fiddle around until it clicks in place like that. And then you pop all your garlic with all the papery stuff on it. I just break it up into cloves, but they've still got all the paper on, and pop them all in there, cover with water, 4 minutes. I'm in slow cook still. Hang on. How did I get onto? Oh, I know. I'm talking about slow cook with the blade cover. So the blade cover, because the peeler mode's coming up. The blade cover is also really helpful for slow cooking. If you're doing, like, there are some slow cooks that are literally an hour and a half, and there's some that are 8 hours. Obviously, the longer the meat is in there, the softer it is, and the more it's going to get shredded, unless you have the blade cover peeler. And it will actually, some of the recipes will say at the top, blade cover peeler required. Okay. So that's for your slow cooking. And whilst we're on the blade cover one, let's talk about sous vide. I have actually been working on a newsletter which is going to come out hopefully tomorrow. And I mentioned a bit about this too, but with sous vide, that's literally, what did I do then? No, wrong thing. Hang on. Sous vide is literally means under a vacuum. It's when you put your food into food safe, food grade plastic. You get as much air out of it. So you can either do that with water displacement, putting it in the water, pushing all the air out and then sealing, or the mix shop has vacuum seal bags and a vacuum seal thing. It's got the really good vacuum seal containers, which I love, but that's another option. And then your bag sits in water and is cooked with in the heat of the water. Okay, but there's no contact with the contents. It could be meat, it could be vegetables, it could be fruit in there as well, or fish as well. I haven't used sous vide very often, probably about twice. And it's been around for a while, but it's not something I particularly enjoy, I suppose, but it is there for some people. And the reason you'd want one of these is because it gives you the volume to feed more people. Without this, if you're only feeding 2, you could put your sous vide bags into here. Okay. But obviously they're just going to be chopped up by the blades if you have them just in there without the blade cover. So the peeler. Same things, as I said, peeling potatoes. I love it for the garlic because I've actually pulled some out before I freeze it. So I've literally, I peel the garlic, I put it on a tray, I freeze it flat, and then I put it into bags and put it in the freezer. And then I've got it for whenever I want it, which I like. And it's also, you do it when garlic's cheap and you've got it there for the rest of the year. I also do it often with ginger as well. Grating, slicing, and spiralizing, that's all to do with the cutter, and we'll come back to that bit later. The Thermomix sensor is something that you can get, which I'm not very good at promoting the Thermomix sensor because I think it's probably really good for meat, and we have used it for meat, but it's recommended for breads and cakes. I actually don't want a hole in my bread or my cake, so I don't use it. But it is a way of ensuring that you're cooking something properly. Okay. Further down from that, which you may or may not have discovered, we've got all these things here. Hang on, all these things. And these are absolutely incredible because it's going to tell you. So let's have a look at apples. If I click on apples, do I want to chop some apples or do I want to steam some apples? So I'll go, I want to chop them. Okay. How many do you want to chop? What sort of weight? All right, I'll do the 400 to 600 grams. And I've got my scales there. I weigh them in. Once it's done, I tick that. And it says 4 seconds, speed 4.5. I put my lid on as it's telling me to do. Where did I put it? And then I just press go. How easy is that? Amazing. And if I decide, right, I don't want to chop, I actually want to steam them. All right, it's asking me to put 500 grams of water. That is the minimum you ever have in your bowl if you are steaming, is 500 grams. So yeah, I've done that. Okay. Do I want to use the simmering basket and just do a small amount, or do I want to use a lot? Okay, I'll just do the simmering basket. Fine. I weigh that in. Simmering basket's in there. 15 minutes, speed 1 with the simmering basket. Hit play. Do you like that?
Mm.
I think it's really clever, and they've got it for all sorts of things. So Rita's obviously an expert with hers and the steaming and things, but it could be that you want to steam some broccoli or something. So you can pop this in here and you go, right, I want to steam the broccoli florets. I put my water in. Okay, there's only a couple of us. We'll just have that amount. I've weighed that in, and there we go. Just hit play. So I think that's pretty cool little number, that one. And there's they're called presets. Sorry, I probably could have got back, but there's a whole lot of things in here. So oh, the chocolate one's funny because it's got about chopping chocolate, grated chocolate. What sort of chocolate do you want to grate? So they've gone to that length that you can do your white chocolate or your dark or your milk. Okay. Do you want it coarse or do you want it fine? Okay, let's go coarse. How much do you want to do? Tick that. There we go. 3-second speed 6. I love it. I think it's very clever. So yeah, but there's lots of things in there that you can, steaming your fish, chopping your ice cubes, onions, peppercorns, pineapple. There's a really long list there of things that just to make it easy for you.
So what does it do? How well does it do the pineapple? Have you ever done that?
Oh, I haven't done a pineapple. No, I've got no idea what it's saying.
So hard.
Oh, it's steaming. It's asking you to steam a pineapple.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I don't know about there is a really nice I've never thought about steaming a pineapple, but there you go. That's an option. But will remind me when we go to Cookie Do, I'll see if I can find you a really nice recipe for pineapple. Then down the bottom here, this is you've got your settings. Okay, so that's you've got your Wi-Fi here. So I know what mine's on, but Nev will troubleshoot that afterwards. Yeah, there's I don't know, any sort of thing there. You've got tutorials and help down there. Yeah, and all your different settings. Now, just one thing in your settings. Some of the recipes, if you're using American recipes, they will come up in ounces. All right. They will automatically come up in ounces. But there was someone the other day, a consultant, I think, who said, I'm in there and I'm still on, for some reason, I'm still on ounces. If that's the case, hang on, come in here and go from, I'm obviously on metric, which is where I want to be, but I can go imperial, metric. Okay. All right. So how does everybody feel? Does that explain things for you? Do you feel comfortable?
Yeah, that's good.
Yep, good. All right. So I'm just going to go through the bits and pieces and then we'll have a look at Cookie Do. All right. So simmering basket, very similar to, it's got a lid, whereas Rita and Nev, you wouldn't have had a lid before. Goes in like that. If you want to get it out when you've been cooking in it, you use the hook on, the hook on here. It is at a different angle to what the previous ones have been. It's quite high like that. Oops, I'll show you. It's quite a high angle to get it on there. I'll turn that into a little secret. When we had these before they'd been released, I was there trying to get this out at the wrong angle at Moorabbin, and they only had one, and I broke the spatula. So just make sure you have it. I felt so awful because they didn't have any others. Anyway, the customer service lady said, "That's all right. Now we know. We just need to let them know that happens." So yeah, at that angle rather than the previous one was much more at that sort of angle. Okay. The other thing with this is the end of your spatula. It's got there's a little hole here. You can flip up your lid like that. So that's that. With your spatula as well as that hook, you've also got a little bump here, which means that when you set your spatula down, it doesn't actually, you probably can't see that, but it's not touching, this is not touching the bench, and you can also stand it up like that. All right. The butterfly, that is the same as a TM5 and a TM6 butterfly, but quite different to your 31, Rita. This, it goes in the same way, so it's used for whipping, and I love it for, we had a meeting on Monday night, which was on Zoom, and they were making mashed potato. Does anyone make mashed potato?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah? Yep. Okay, all right. I don't make mashed potato, but I make mashed cauliflower, and I love it for that sort of thing. It's really good, and but they were using it for the mashed potato. So this literally just goes on your blades, pop it on like that, little tiny twist, and that's on. And maximum speed with the butterfly in.
4.
Yes. Gold star. Thank you. 4. All right. And the way you can remember that is, one, it actually says it on there, but you probably never read that. And the other is it's got 4 corners. Okay. Right. So what else have we got? The Varoma. Who uses their Varoma, or who has been using a Varoma before now?
Sort of.
Yes, Rita.
Yep.
I have, but not a lot.
Okay.
Only if a recipe says to use it.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, Rita, you sound like you're an expert, which is awesome. I love it that you're using it for, steaming your veggies and getting your rice and everything at the same time. So the wonderful thing about the Varoma is that you can do layered cooking, and you can have rice cooking in your simmering basket whilst you have sitting on top. Hang on, sorts of bits here. Aroma sitting on top, and I'm thinking of one particular recipe, which I'll tell you in a minute. Chicken cooking in there, okay? And then part way through, you put your tray on the top and put the lid on, and you've got vegetables cooking at the top here. So it's great for those all-in-one meals. And the one I'm thinking of, remind me when we get into cookie dough in a minute, it is, actually, I think I've got it in my week. Let's see if I can get to it. Show all. Thinking. Because, here we go. It's our son's favorite. And he lives in America and he's coming back next week, and it has to be the first thing I make him. So easy satay chicken, really simple, really delicious. And it is a layered thing. So doing exactly what I said before, you do make the satay sauce first, you pop it aside, and then you make the other things and just add them in. So it's that's a really nice Varoma dish. Okay. That's all the bits. Oh, I know what. One last thing. The lid cap. All right. Now, I don't always put my lid on the lid cap, even when it says to put it on there. But obviously, if you're blending anything, you need to have it on. And I know early on, you guys haven't got the early ones, but they had a little bit of issue with the lid popping off. If the lid pops off, when you put it on, just give it a little twist. Okay, and that should be fine. But as I said, I don't always have it on. All right, let's have a look at cookie dough. And then if anybody wants to have a little look at the cutter, I'm happy to show you that too. All right, so this is cookie dough on the website, which is a bit different. Has everybody downloaded the app? Got the app on your phone?
No. I don't think I have.
Okay, all right. All right, we'll talk. So
now, and I've transferred all my recipes from TM6 from my old account to my new account.
Oh, good girl. Well done. So the app is the official Cookie Dough app, which is that one there. All right. It's got a little 1 on it because my clock's going on. Oh, that's the other one thing I didn't show you. I'll show you afterwards. Is the Cook Center. All right. So with your cookie dough, first of all, you have up here, you have a profile. Okay, so I'm not sure why my picture used to be there anyway. So on here, you can decide if you've got a preference for any of these types of things. If you want to be a time-saving cook, you can tick that. I don't tick anything because I'm just happy to try all sorts of things. Then you want to look at your search filter preferences. Hang on, just got to move you guys out the way. Following default preferences. Okay. So there are accessories here that you can include or exclude depending on what you've got. And then these are the preferences, my search preferences, all right? And what I've done is what you can do is you can come in here, you can update your filter because the default when you start off, it is Australia for your country. And if you just have Australia as your country, you're going to be much more limited in recipes to try. So all you need to do is update your filter. I've got this, don't need Bulgarian, I've just got English language, and then I've got all country. I haven't ticked any country, but if you wanted to, you absolutely can, but there's a whole lot of different countries, recipes from all around the world. Okay.
Mm.
Save. So that's what I've got for my preferences, and I find that that is really, that works for me. Let's get out of that. I'm going to go back here. Okay. Now, with your account, that will tell you when your subscription is paid up till. Okay. And if you've got more than one Thermomix, it will list your Thermomixes up here, my devices. But let's have a look. So when you can explore, and when you explore, I've got faces in front of me on this. I'm just trying to juggle everybody around. All right, that's better. All right, so let's have a think. It's going to put mushroom in there. All right, so that's going to give me, articles, 845 recipes, which include mushrooms. So if you've got something you want to use up in your fridge, that's a really great way to find recipes to use up in. I keep looking at these. I haven't made them yet, but they look really good, the miso mushrooms. All right, so I might go, all right, I'm going to have a look at these miso mushrooms. It's for 4 people. I can have a quick look. It's using high temperature. Sounds really good. I was going to make something different with my mushrooms, but I might have to do those. And from here, you've got your 3 dots. So you can add it to a recipe list. So that's a collection that you make. There are no collections on Cookie Do until you make them. You can add it to your week. And if I go add to my week, put it in for tomorrow just for us to have a look at. I can add it to my shopping list. What's happened there? Hopefully it's just gone in. And if I wanted to alter the recipe, I could add it to my created recipes and do that. Okay, so let's go back. And let's go in here and go my week. So now I should have, there they are, cafe style miso mushrooms. They're ready to go for, they'll come up on the screen for tomorrow. But this is actually what I am going to make, mushroom ragu with zoodles tomorrow night for dinner. And if we come back over here, we can go to the shopping list. I've got some other things in there because I've got other bits and pieces. So I definitely don't need to buy water. I have to say, if a recipe requires wine and it's not open, I just put water in. Condensed milk for that slice I've got to make for our son. And then I just click off anything else. So I don't know if you know, you can make your own golden syrup. I'm just using sugar and water in the Thermomix. So that's something you can absolutely do. It's got the paste. Anyway, so you just click off what you've actually got already. And then you can do this. It's very clunky from here. You can share it, you can print it, but honestly, it's much, much easier on the app, which I'll show you in just a sec. So, and then my recipes, we looked at that on the screen of my Thermomix before. So then my bookmarks again, okay. Recently cooked, collections, and all the different recipes, the collections that I've made. All right. You also can filter. So if I go explore, and let's go mushroom, I can add filters. So I can go, all right, I want to include an ingredient. Well, obviously I'm including mushrooms. It's my little draggy thing. I find these sometimes very hard to find, the little thing that you drag down the side. Oops. It's going to defeat me, I can see. It's not. Let's just see if I can just go down like that, page down. No. Anyway, somewhere there, and it's much easier as it on the app. You can go down, you can select, I'll do it on the app. Show you on the app. Let's stop sharing. And let's come back to this. So explore. Come on. Thinking. We've only got one teeny weeny, but we're on Starlink, but it can still doesn't always. I'm gonna go into one of these.
We've had a lot of trouble with the internet lately, but we're on Telstra, but we've had a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I know there's someone else I know who's having a lot of trouble too. Okay, let's go back, see if I can get Explore up, because that would be much more helpful. Very annoying. It's not happening. But basically what you can do, I really need to, oh, well, let's just click to one of these. Oh no, I want to search something. Doesn't want to play. But with a shopping list, so the shopping list is down at the bottom right-hand side here, okay? And what you can do from here, your 3 dots, much more useful. I can share it, so I can send it, when the internet's working, I can send it to my husband to go shopping. He's just walking past in the background. And it comes as a text message. I'm sorry, it's really not working tonight, but that's what happens. Okay, it will come. You can send it as a text message, which is really helpful. When you want to clear your shopping list and start again, you just go clear all. I'm not going to do that because I actually need. Can you see that? There we go. Clear all down there, and then you can start again. All right. I'm sorry I can't show you the filters. I don't know why that's really annoying.
I mean, I've got them up on my phone. Is that from below excluded ingredients? It then goes to tags.
Yeah, exactly. All that stuff.
Ratings and how difficult the recipe is.
Yes, yeah. Okay. And I have to say, I don't know if anybody's ever rated a recipe. I have probably rated 2. I probably should rate more, but don't totally trust the the ratings, okay? Because there's plenty there that are really good and haven't been rated. Okay.
Can I just ask? Yeah. Can I ask? Can you share the shopping list to your Coles
no, you
app
can't.
or not? No. Okay.
Sorry, sorry, I was just looking at Andrew. He wanted to put the kettle, and I said, no, you can't put the kettle on here. All right. There is a way of, you used to be able to share it to Woolworths. But Woolworths have, I think it's the intermediary has pulled out, so that's not working. But I think you can copy and paste. I haven't done it because I don't do my shopping that way. I just go and click things off as I put them into my basket. I just click them off my list.
You can screenshot it and then upload it as a PDF, like a scanned document on the Woolworths app. So
awesome.
It can read the text from the screenshot of the shopping list.
Okay, wonderful.
But
I think you should become a consultant, Rita, because you know so much. Now, was there something else I was going to do? Oh, I know I was going to show you here. So also at the top of here, you've got a little line, and if I click on there, there's the clock, like the timer. So you can set up a timer. I've obviously got the time because I didn't want the Thermix to shut down whilst we were doing this. You can also get to your scales really quickly. And you can also, what's the other thing on here? Hang on. Get to a pre-clean quickly. All right. And if you are in a recipe and you have to duck out, so let's go, let's do something manually. Hang on. No, let's do a recipe. Okay, let's just put this in here for a minute. All right, go start. It's telling me what to do, spiralizing, place my porcini mushrooms in, etc., etc. Now, that is in ounces because it is an American recipe. But say if I wanted to duck out and weigh it the other way, and I can go down here. I can go to my manual mode, my scales there. And then when I've done that, I can come back, click this little line up here, and it will take me straight back into the recipe. Okay. All right. I think
so. With the scale, I'm just checking. So if you don't change it, what does it do?
The scales are normally in grams, okay, because that's what we use here, okay. Yeah. But if you just select an American recipe to cook, they will, in the recipe, it will come up in ounces, which you might think, oh God, I've got to really think about all that, but you don't, because the scales are going to do the weighing. It's telling you how much you've got to weigh in, and you don't have to, I mean, apart from a little bit of conversion when you're shopping. All right, but yeah, 100 grams is 4 ounces.
Make it and you just go.
Yeah, you just weigh it in, and it will tell you when it's reached, say, 20 ounces.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions about any of that? Is that overwhelmed?
Were you going to explain the timer? Were you saying, like, if you had to then say, oh, actually, I've got to go and pick up the kids from school, and you didn't want it to turn off in the middle of the recipe? Is that
it will turn off. If it gets to a certain point in a recipe where it needs you to intervene to add something extra, it will wait for 15 minutes. It will automatically turn itself off. But when you turn it back on again and you go up to that cooking center there, it should be there to keep going from where you were.
Okay. So what was the purpose of the other timer that you've got running now?
Oh, that was just because it does turn itself off after 15 minutes. I thought if we were looking at something on cookie dough or whatever, and it turned itself off and I didn't want it to turn off, by putting the timer on, it just means the machine's going to stay on.
Oh, okay. So that timer is just for any
Just
purpose.
Running in the background, just for me, just for ease for this.
I suppose you could use it if you had something in the oven at the same time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you can. You can. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And you can do that. So if if you're making a cake or something and it says a certain time, then you set the timer here. And if you're then making a recipe in it, that won't disturb that time that's timing your oven.
Okay. Yep. Thanks.
Okay. Now, I do have a cutter here if anybody wants to have a look at it, but if you don't want to, if it's too much, I can do a little video and send it out to you tomorrow.
I'm happy to look at it.
Yeah, fine.
Well, is that nodding to I've had enough?
I'd like to see it.
You'd like to see it? Yeah. Okay, all right. I'll give you a quick little rundown. If anybody needs to go, that's fine. Don't feel pressured to stay. Right. Jane, did you have a TM6 cutter?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all
right. I bought it because of the deal.
Yeah, sure. Anita, did you have a TM6 cutter?
No.
No, okay.
No.
All right.
And I don't have a TM7.
No, that's all right. It's a host toward this market.
My son and his partner ended up for one, because remember I ended up buying them a new one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So they got a cutter, which my son has used. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So the first thing we have to put in is the drive shaft, and it is as you don't know what a TM6 cutter is, that's fine. You don't know how different it looks. So all that you do, you need to make sure the drive shaft, it just literally sits over the blades like that. Okay, so that's on there. Then you put the basket on. And this is actually really important that you put the basket on the correct way. If you look at the basket there, it's got a little hole on this side. Sorry, a bit hard to see, isn't it? But a hole there, and it doesn't have one on the other side there. Okay, the hole has to be at the front. So that then sits over your drive shaft like that. Then you have the cutter blade. Now the cutter, you've got side one is slicing. You have a thin slice and a thick slice. And side two is grating. You have a thin and a thick grate. All right. If you want to slice, that needs to go uppermost on the bottom of your lid. So whichever you want to do, it has to be uppermost. So that just clicks on like that. Then this goes onto the front, and this little bit here sits through that hole that we put on the front. Okay. And then you've got this to push down. So let's find the setting. Okay, slicing. So on here, I can choose, I'll go back to where I was. So I've in this setting, the modes and things here, I've gone slicing because I've gone the slicing uppermost, and I can choose to want thick or thin. So if I was doing a poke bowl, I would definitely use thin for cucumber. I'd use it for radishes, those sorts of things. if I'm doing my potato bake or my vegetable bake, I'd do thick. So you choose whichever one you want, and then you start it and you use the pusher here. Oh, God, it's really hard to get everything in. You push down gently with that. All right, and you turn it off. When it's finished doing everything, you turn it off. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me put it on a thick slice. I've got a couple of mushrooms here. I'll just do them. So what you do need to make sure is that whatever it is that you're slicing or grating fits into this section up here. All right. So sometimes you'll find, I mean, if you're doing a sweet potato, you're going to have to, or a potato, you might have to cut it a little bit. But I'll just pop those mushrooms in there. That one's a bit tight. Oh, that'll be all right, I think. Okay, thick slice. That was just like not even a second, I reckon. And I'll show you what it's done. Okay, so there you go.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Super quick. So there's that, and obviously you can do the different. Let's go back out of here. You can do the grating, but I'm not going to grate mushrooms, but I'm just giving you the option here. You can do thick and thin, all right, with the grating. And the other thing that the cutter actually comes with is a spiralizer attachment. And I will just show you how this works. So this has a different thing that it goes into. I have to think about this. And it goes in and it clicks in like that. The difference between that and the cutter is that when you're using the spiralizer, you have to be, so the cutter you can put on in any direction at all. With the spiralizer, you need to be able to see this through here, up through this bit here. Otherwise, it's going to do nothing. And I hadn't used it for a while and I put it on and nothing happened. I thought, hang on, what's going on with this thing? And of course, I didn't have it lined up properly. So I'll just try and line this up here. Like that. You have to be able to see that in there. Okay. And the other thing that I didn't realize was you pull this out. Let's get this right. I should practice this bit. You see, I haven't used, oh, hang on. Is that it? No. Anyway, let's get, sorry, I should have practiced this bit, but this has two pushers in it. So there is a second one that comes out here, I think. Here we go. I was trying to pull too much. So I've got that whole pusher in there for pushing down for cutting and slicing. When I'm spiralizing, I pull this bit out and I use that because it's got something to stick your, you know, if you ever spiralize, you've got to have a firm point for it to then go around. Otherwise, everything just goes around in circles. So that is there, and you put that onto the bottom of your vegetable like that and push it down through. Okay. So it took me ages to work that out.
Can you do a potato, like then put it in the air fryer?
Yes. Now there is another bit to this. Where is it? I'm not sure where I put it. But there is another blade that comes with this. Let me just see if I thought it was in here, but I can't see it. But there is a second blade, Jane, that comes with, which is, and the way you have to change this though. So the way you do it is don't hold on to this because it's really spiky. You push this away from you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then you have to take this bit apart, which is just holding on there, and you take this apart and you pop the other blade in, and the other blade does like, you know, those potatoes that you see at fairs and things like that, where on a stick, it does that sort of shape.
Okay, so the first one you were going to do was zoodle.
Yeah, yes, this is a zoodle. Yes.
Whereas the other one is a spiral.
Yes, that's quite correct. Well done. Thank you. Thanks for helping.
That's all right.
Yeah, so I do have videos where I have done all that, but I'm just looking at the time and thinking I've kept you all a long time. So, but that's a little general overview. And just lastly, before I love you and leave you, or you love me and leave me, just so you know, this is coming out in my newsletter tomorrow, but these are the host rewards for this month until the 28th. So if you've got a couple of people who are curious about the TM7 and you would like, now I'll tell you what they are. So the Fira is a really nice baking dishes. To put my mess this side now, because I pulled one out to show you. So this is one of the Fira dishes, and they are just lovely, and they're really solid cast iron, and they are fantastic, brilliant for a vegetable bake. And there are different shapes. There is a casserole one. What's it called? There's the casserole. Oh, this is called the casserole. There is a Dutch oven as well. There, and there is a baking tray. Other options are the new style thermo server, a bread mat, or the Thermomix cutter. Obviously, if you were getting one, you'd get a TM7, but it's just available for TM6 owners as well. So that is those are the host rewards that are on offer this month. And I think you don't have to. So sometimes when you have demos and you get host rewards, you get a better host reward, better deal if a guest purchases at your demo. This month, it's a flat rate, okay? So you can get one of these Fira, this thing I just showed you, it's normally worth $179. You can get it for $60. So it's a really good deal. Anyway, these are the various things that you can select to have at your demo. We've got bread rolls, pizza bianca, we've got a fruity dream or a custard because it's a bit cooler. And then we've got either the Marry Me chicken pasta, which is an open lid dish, the creamy coconut chicken, or the mushroom risotto. So have a think about that. If there's anyone that you'd like to invite along and show them the TM7. And I think what we always tend to sort of think, there's no pressure, all right? There is no pressure from me at any demo. If they decide they want to purchase, that's great. If it's not for them, they'll come back one day. But it shows them, and it's all about people, as you guys know, it's saving time, it's saving money, it's eating healthily, and it's making it easy, particularly with Cookie Do, because you can meal plan, you've got your shopping list, and then it's all ready to go on the screen of your Thermomix. Okay, any questions, or I've just like bombarded you with so much information.
Okay. I was just thinking, so I gave you my friend Linda as an email address and whatever. So would she have booked a demo with you, or how does that work? Because I just wondered, the demo I would have thought I would have perhaps gone along with as well.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
We'll talk about that offline.
I'm going to go, Mandy. Thank you.
Pleasure. All right, I'll talk to you, Nev, tomorrow.
Okay, cheers. Thank you.
I'm just going to stop the recording as well.
Bye,
thank you
everyone.
guys for coming.
Thank you very much.